Yo, 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 yo. So, if you guys wondering why your boy Mr. FTW is like this, um, I'm kind of sick. You know what I'm saying? I got the flu, which brings me back to my first rant. I gotta get on in. Gotta let everybody know how are y'all doing out there. Hope y'all enjoying this beautiful Wednesday. But I'm at the dark side today, as y'all can see. But I just want to say this for all people out there. I gotta make this a public rant. I know we love wrestling. I know we really do. But if you know you are sick, if you know you are feeling under the weather, please, for everybody's sake, stay at home. We went to a show this past Saturday where I want to say now over 50% of that show is sick after Saturday, including, parents that did go to the show also. So that being said, I just want to say, hey, please be careful. If you know you're sick, it's that time of year. Please be careful. And with that being said, I'm going to go and start up the show off early today and play one of our sponsors, our boy DA from Passport Republic. And with that being said, we'll be right back.
Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee.
Hello. It's Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Experienced some technical difficulties. Got some bad weather where I'm at. Possibly that was part of the issue there, getting disconnected. We are back. It is Wednesday, so you already know it's the Dynamite Mad Family Review with Family Time Wrestling Podcast. We're being graced by President Luther Zay Diamond of the Family Time Wrestling, gracing us with his presence tonight. Going to do the show with me on some AEW. Before we get right into it, I did see that Luther there was smart enough to go ahead and play our sponsors a little early tonight while we were getting everything situated. So I want to give a early shout out to our newest sponsor we haven't been able to throw into the video yet, and Kiyoshi Kevin Reinhardt at Goju Ryu Kai Mixed Martial Arts in the Fulton, Montgomery County, upstate New York area. If you're looking to get in there and learn some karate, learn some mixed martial arts, man, we got you. He's got you all kinds of covered. He's got you covered jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai. Traditional karate is where it's at for the most part. When you go in there, if you're ready for that. Fulton, Montgomery County, Goju Ryu Kai, Gloversville, New York. You go ahead and check that out. Family friendly environment. He does have child's classes. They're open Monday through Saturday, I believe, from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. The child's classes are from 2 to 4, possibly 2 to 5, and then the adult classes are after that. Go ahead, check them out, man. It's a great place to be. Get your train on, get your sweat on. Also, before we get any further, and I welcome MTG Gaming for joining us with us. I want to throw out there that this show is rated TVMA, so put all you little kiddies to bed. They shouldn't be watching AEW anyways, in my motherfucking opinion. I'm going to cuss. We're going to give our opinion, unfiltered, raw. This is live, not edited. I am very 420 friendly, so you may see me pull this out from time to time and take a rip or two, especially if it was a terrible match that I'm about to talk about. So, once again, you've been warned. If you're sticking with us, we appreciate you. And we're about ready to get into this show because I actually think it was a pretty damn good Winter is Coming Dynamite. Again, MTG Gaming, thank you for joining. Luther Zay Diamond, let's go ahead and kick it right off. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about Dynamite? You know how we do. 3-star review, 1 out of 3, 0. How many you want to give it? Let's hear it.
I'm going to go with a solid 2.
Oh, my bad.
Solid 2?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a solid 2. My bad, MTG. But yeah, I'm going to go with a solid 2.
I was asking you, brother. You're good. Fuck yeah. Okay. I hear that. Anything in particular? Any real why it's not a 3 for you? Anything?
I'm not
like nah.
I'm still just not really sold on how we kind of play MJF as the as the crooked in this. You know what I'm saying? I can't get by that, bro. I'm sorry. Like, no matter how we try to tweak and turn that, I cannot get behind that, bro. So, like, that right there personally is still like my little, you know what I'm saying, downfall. But outside of that, bro, it's like, yeah.
100% agree. MTG, what'd you feel about tonight's show? I assume you saw it, right?
Yes, I did. It was. I give it 1.8 out of 3.
Ooh, okay. Justify, not testify. Justify. I want to hear it.
I mean, matches. Well, like I said a few times about AEW, matches are just a little too long. They just need to. They need to add a little more segments. I mean, they can do it, and AEW can get back on top, which I hope they do, because I don't want them to go anywhere. You know, that's why I'm giving this product another chance, because I don't want them going anywhere. And they just need to do more segments, like lower down the match quality time a little bit, and add more segments, because that's what can bring the company back up.
Okay. I hear that. I actually understand that. I'm going to go with a solid 2.3 for me. I thought it was pretty much every match was pretty solid, and I was stoked for. I hear what you're saying, MTG. I know that I can't speak for my girl Bonafide, who's not be able to witness tonight. She has some familial obligations that we understand. Right. Family comes first. But I know she's got a big problem with the amount of segments and cuts we have. And we had quite a few tonight. Almost too many for my taste. But I do hear what you're saying, MTG. There are segments that we do get, or squash matches that we could have just had a good hype video or a good vignette or something instead. So, with that being said, here we go. Kick off the show. Mox and Pac versus Jay White and Orange Cassidy. We got the Death Riders versus just a couple thrown together, Bang Bang Gang and the conglomeration having a one-off. This was a banger match. I'm telling you, starting off the show with it, I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, it was.
Until the end. Interruption by Hangman Page comes out there. Orange Cassidy ends up hitting Jay White with an orange punch on accident. Of course, then he does hit Hangman, and then he gets retaliation from Jay White hitting him with the Blade Runner. Then the Death Riders attack. I get it. Okay, it's storytelling. We've been needing this. We've been complaining about it with AEW not giving us enough story. They're giving us some story. But we had a banger match. Why you got to do that? If you're going to do that, do it at the beginning-ish or middle of a match. Don't let them get cooking and then be like, by the way, you know what I mean? That's just my opinion, though. We'll start with MTG this time. How'd you feel about this, brother?
I enjoyed it. I liked the first opening, this tag match. I enjoyed it. I mean, the match quality is great, and I forgot to mention this while I was also giving it a 1.8. And now that you brought it up, I don't like the weak finishes in the matches. Like tonight, I didn't like the Rick. Well, I know we're gonna get into like the finishing match.
There were too many. No, I agree. Yeah,
it was good, but the finishes, man, you can't make them weak.
There was a couple finishes that were pretty much the exact same two matches in a row. And Bonafide also has been complaining about this week after week, and I agree with her. It's getting too much. We'll delve in more into that once we get to that part of the show. But so what would you say about pretty much this match? You did enjoy the match, but you weren't really particularly fond of the finish either.
Yeah, and I did see. I know we're gonna get into that later, but so. I'll just we'll wait till we get to that. So this match was pretty good. Like I said, they can put up good matches. It's just the weakness, the finishes are poor. And this is my first time seeing Moxley and Pac and Orange Cat, all four of these guys wrestle in a while, because I'm just tuning back into AEW. And
Moxley's the current world champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. And honestly, this bald-headed Moxley kind of looks badass. He looks more badass than ever.
Fantastic shape. He's in probably the best shape I've ever seen him in his career, honestly, right now.
And I've always loved him in AEW. In WWE, that character kind of didn't fit in the WWE.
That character is the character we have now, but it's WWE version, so it's toned way down. Remember, it's PG era. So they had to make, how do we turn Jon Moxley into a PG guy? And for that, I think they did very, very good. With Dean Ambrose and his character and the way they did it, I believe they did pretty well.
And like that character would probably fit in the Attitude Era. That's where I think it would fit at.
Definitely.
and it's fitting, and it fits right at home with AEW and Moxley. You don't need to go back to WWE, not even for a show every year. You know.
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel, Mr. FTW? What'd you think about this opening?
Brother, you can't give me a 30-minute match. And if you're going to let somebody come in and interrupt the match, at least make it lead to a win, not a disqualification. Like, I'm sorry. It has to lead to at least a win in somebody's team. We can't let it end in a disqualification because now it's like, what was the whole point of a match, bro? So to let them cook out there for almost 30-plus minutes and for it to end like that, I'm like MCG, like, come on, gang. Like, we can't afford that one. So I was kind of disappointed in it, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Mr. FTW and I got something to say to all you AEW haters, whether you join in to watch just to hate on it, or you got something really vocal to say. We'll get into that a little bit later, probably halfway through the show after we show our sponsors again, which I'm sure Mr. FTW has no problem with doing.
Yep.
We go right into, okay, now this, I enjoyed it, and it pissed me off. And it annoyed me. Probably I was more annoyed than anything with this because I mentioned this last week. I know he's really, really good. Blah, blah, blah. Gives a fuck about Bandito. I mean, really, I'm sorry. I might be the minority in this one. But you're spending all this money and quality on making a badass little vignette video, which is like my style of sports entertainment. I lean a lot towards the way what a video was. Little mini, almost like movie trailer segment with Bandito whooping 3 guys. But what I love particularly about this segment, and it wasn't Kung Fu Movie whooping somebody's butt. It wasn't John Wick whooping somebody's butt, or just even, you know, old school punches, pow, pow whooping. He was using nothing but wrestling maneuvers, wrestling holds, and like just wrestling in general outside in like a Western, you know, motif against, you know, troughs and shit like that. I loved it. I thought that was fantastic. I'm still like, though, who the fuck cares that? Why you really Bandito is okay, cool. He might be really good, but you're spending the money this took for this type of quality video on Bandito. That's my only thing. Miss FTW, start with you this time.
Man, don't get me started on this dude. I told you Tony be having money. And he bored, he don't have nowhere else to do. And he's like, hey, I think I can make him a star because I want to make him a star. Not because the crowd want to make him a star, not because Tony want to do it because Tony wants to. And it's what Tony likes. And I'm sorry, that's the only thing I don't like about this particular one. Because I'm like you, it's kind of like, bro, who gives a damn about this dude? Like, I'm sorry. Work with what we got right now. Who gives a damn about this?
Probably a large Hispanic audience, and I understand there's not a lot of luchadors. You always have, you need your luchador quota or whatever you want to call it on your show. And Bandito's been impressive in his matches. He looked phenomenal. Like, he's definitely got ripped, put on some weight. I think he was out on injury. I have no idea why they're pushing him this hard lately. My only thing was, okay, if you're going to do this, okay, do it for Bandito, but there's like 3 or 4 other guys and gals you need to be doing it.
And because they just lost Phoenix and Penta. So that's why they're trying to push him hard, in my real opinion.
You know, that's a great point. I bet you're right. Yep. No confirmation yet on if Ray has signed with WWE as well as his brother, but he did.
Penta did sign. Penta actually
did. Yeah. Ray, we're not sure if he's going to be. I doubt he'll be back with AEW. He did put out a tweet. I'm sure everyone's seen or heard about where he says he will not be staying where he's inhumane treatment.
Yeah, it's injury time, so he'll be there after the.
Well, and he did clear up that because by inhumane, he used pretty much the wrong word. Inhumane isn't necessarily the right word. It's just he had some contractual disagreements with them, and he felt like he was being treated unfairly in that. And he just used the word inhumane, in my opinion, from what I was reading and interpreting. Okay, that sounds more right, because inhumane's a tough word to throw around. You know what I mean? But the media, of course, is going to grab that and be like, oh, they're beating their people with bullwhips backstage, and there's some ridiculous bullshit's going to come out. And that we'll get more into that again when we start defending AEW, which I'm going to do during this show because I'm tired of hearing a lot of the bullshit. MTG, before I get too much on a rampage, no pun intended. rant right now. Let me hear what you had to say about this. I'm sure you got something to say about this Bandito promo.
Always been a fan of Bandito. Loved him in AAA. That guy is an amazing luchador.
Okay.
And it was. I think they're trying to make him a little bit like Zorro and Zorro, that movie from the '90s. That was kind of.
Oh, I know Zorro, brother. Trust me, I'm that age.
Yeah. Yeah. They were trying to make him like that, and honestly, the wrestling moves that he was doing on the Cowboys in that film, it was pretty awesome in my opinion. Because he's a wrestler.
Thank you.
I know you don't like it, but what you call it's awesome in my opinion. And what you call I don't know why they changed it to this gimmick. And will this gimmick actually work? I don't know.
Most Wanted, right? That's what they're calling him, or something like that.
Yeah, the most wanted Bandito. Yeah, that's what they're calling him. And there was a entertainment segment, and the whole Western setup and all that. I guess Tony Khan, like you said, Tony Khan paid for all that. It actually looks pretty damn cool. And I guess this is a great way to try to make the character more standoutish. So we'll see where it goes from here. And like what Zay said, they want to make him the big luchador star now that Penta and Phoenix is gone. And it's still kind of a pain in the ass that Tony Khan is literally letting one of his best tag teams go away. And I'm like, Tony Khan, I feel like slapping you in the face for letting Penta and Phoenix go, because those guys were there since day one. You're just gonna let them go like that? And Penta and Phoenix, I met both guys before in real life, and they've always been one of my favorite tag teams in the modern day wrestling. Probably number two.
One of the best, top probably 5, if definitely top 10 of recent or current best tag teams in the world, in my opinion. They're fantastic.
Yeah, it's like I have the Hardys was always number 1 for the past few years, because I'm always a big Hardy Boys fan, and I always put the Street Profits at number 3, and then the Lucha Brothers number 2.
Okay, that's not a bad list at all. We go right into a Mox promo segment backstage where great Mox segment. I got a great Mox promo segment. He's doing the pacing. He raises his voice, gets calm. Mox is just fantastic. Okay, at promos, he's decent on the mic live. Like, he can do some shit off the dome. But where he really, really excels is these vignettes and these backstage kind of promos where he can just boom. And he showed it tonight, and he challenged the 3 guys that came out and they had the Raw with earlier in the night to a fatal 4-way title match at World's End. So it's going to be Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page versus Jay White versus who was the 4th?
Adam Page,
Orange Cassidy. Cassidy. All 4 of them, fatal 4-way for the AEW World Championship. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. I just want to ask both of you, one at a time, if you are for this match, and who do you think's going to come out with it? Real quick, MTG.
I'm forward this match. I mean, I like seeing triple threat fatal 4-way matches for the world title either in WWE or either in TNA or in AEW. I'm a huge fan of all that. So
okay. So who's coming out with the win?
I think Moxley's going to retain.
Okay. Mr. FTW, how about you, brother?
Looking forward to it, and I got a Mox retain.
Okay. I am also looking forward to it with a Mox retain. I think that he has to retain going into World's End. Otherwise, what the hell is this whole, he's taking over AEW. Oh, Team AEW wins at the very end. I don't think they want to kill this Mox thing right now. It's way too hot. That'd be stupid. So I do agree. Mox retains. I think actually he's going to pin Orange Cassidy, to be honest. I think that's how he's going to win. Okay, Christian Cage, man. We cut the promo against all 4 people, including Mox, the 4 aforementioned people we were just talking about. And of course, in classic Christian Cage fashion, because it was just an okay promo. Oh, no, I'm Christian Cage. Let's go ahead and bring up Mox's recovering alcoholism and throw that shit in his face again live. In case you didn't know or forgot, here we go. Christian Cage, I was like, you motherfucker. But this is why you love to hate Christian Cage and why he's fantastic and why AEW is where he belongs, because he can do this. This is the best Christian Cage ever from TNA, WWE with the peeps. I don't give a shit. He has had some good gimmicks. He's had some very successful gimmicks. This chef's kiss is Christian Cage. And Mr. FTW, real quick on this one, how do you feel?
I told you, Christian is going to be our next AEW champion. When it goes off Mox, it's going to Christian next, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to cash in at World's End? Because he basically has money in the bank, so I say cash in.
I don't think World's End. I think he holds it a little bit longer.
MTG, how about you?
I didn't even know AEW had their own version of Money in the Bank.
Basically, the contract that he has, the little that metal thing he was carrying, it's basically a guaranteed title match whenever you want. So, sound familiar?
Catch me up. How did he get it? Like, how did he win that contract?
I think it was a ladder match. I think, yeah, it's their version of Money in the Bank. There's not a whole lot of difference between it. I don't recall exactly when he's got it, except he got it a while back. And I don't know if it has the same.
Like a gauntlet,
Go ahead, Bud.
If I'm not mistaken, theirs was like a gauntlet, wasn't it? Like a 10-man gauntlet, people just coming in, and the first one with the
think you're right. It might have been something like that. Like, was it a gauntlet ladder or just a gauntlet match?
Yeah, it was just a gauntlet because Luchasaurus was finna win, and Christian came out there and he gave him. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yep, that's right. Okay, yeah.
So did he backstab Luchasaurus?
No, Luchasaurus gave it to him. Luchasaurus, who's now called Kill Switch, so stupid, is basically twice now has just when he wins something, he gives it to Cage. Like whatever achievement he gives to Cage. Christian has something over him. They played a segment where he Lucha was going to turn on him, and he just whispered something in Lucha's ear, and he followed orders and hasn't steered away since. So he's, they're playing long-term storytelling. They're playing. He's got something over him.
Right. Yeah. And as far as this segment goes, it was pretty cool. I liked it how Hook just broke through the glass door and attacked him.
Exactly what I was about to say. Yes, at the very end of the segment, before Christian assaulting the crowd, we do get return of Hook, like you said, blasting through the door. Go ahead.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna see more of Hook, of what he can do as far as more of his promos and how he's gonna be put in storylines and how the way he's gonna be. Like this is the first time I ever seen Hook do that, because I remember when I was watching AEW, when I used to watch it back a lot, they had the FTW and he was always on Rampage winning matches and he was undefeated. Is he still undefeated?
No, sir. He's had some bangers. He lost the title, Chris Jericho and all that. Chris Jericho was the FTW champion, and he renamed the title the For the World Championship. It was fantastic. Great little storyline. Taz got involved in it. Taz is actually injured went out and had some surgery done. So storyline wise, he's injured, and it was, the learning tree that injured him, put him out. So that's why they got a feud kind of going right now. Right. It's one of the better storylines, in my opinion, they do have currently going, because it's got the comedy, and then you've got your serious Hook, and you're seeing that Hook can hang with some of the bigger boys, and he's doing better on the mic. So definitely a good thing. Second match of the night, going right into it.
I was going to say.
I
was also going to say about Christian Cage.
Yes.
It would be a little weird because if he does win that AEW title, which looks like that he might do it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird because I never thought he would ever be another world champion ever again. And it might happen, like what they say. This is going to be a little weird. As far as you mentioned the singles run,
yeah,
his TNA singles run was pretty badass. It was like he was the NWA.
I know he's had some good ones. I do feel like this Christian Cage though is unleashed. This is the sheer heel asshole. Like, damn, the shit he has said to some of these people that he's feuded and promoted against you've missed a lot of it. It's been fantastic. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this though, because I do want to get to Ospreay and Claudio, which is the next match. Gonna segue right into.
Oh, okay.
Man, I knew this was going to be a good match. I think we all knew this was going to be a good match because it's Claudio, and then it's Will motherfucking Ospreay. Like, woo, boy. But here we go again. A shit ending, because it is a jackknife roll-up cover that gets the victory. Drum roll. For Will Ospreay. They do not give it to Claudio. I honestly, when I saw this, my first thought was this is going 20 minutes. This is going to be a draw. They're both going to get 1 point. Mr. FTW, start with you this time.
Oh man, this is like heaven made and earth for me. You know, I love me some Claudio, and I love me some Will. So it's just a great match. To sit back, light one up, and let Magic watch Magic. Don't matter who win, no matter who lost, you couldn't go wrong watching this match if you're a true wrestling fan.
How'd you feel about the ending, though?
Uh, 50-50.
Huh?
I'm 50-50 on it. Part of me is like, okay, I take that. The other part is like, we could have did a little bit better. Well, I know we could have did better.
Now, okay. Granted, when I first saw it, because it was the first one of the night. Spoiler alert there. Okay, sure. So it was the first. It's a roll-up victory.
But not in their match, bro. Not in their match. That type of match is similar to that 30-minute, and then somebody. Not in no fucking Claudio and Will Ospreay.
Right. No, I get it, but just because of how it kind of worked out with the hitting and all that, they played. Okay, I would have been acceptable for me. Originally, it was, but the next match, which we will get to, because there are some segments in between, kind of has a somewhat similar ending, and then it kind of like, why are you doing this? But MTG, if Miss FT, you done? Like, did you have anything else you wanted to say about that? MTG,
Damn,
what it be?
That was a damn good one. And I hope if I do go to All In Dallas, I want to see Claudio and Will Ospreay on the card. Not against each other, but against anybody, because I'm pretty sure they could put up great matches against anybody. And Claudio, as I mentioned last week, 2 weeks ago when I was on the Dynamite episode, the guy has gotten more jacked. Now I see a wrestler. I don't see a generic scrawny dude like I used to in WWE. Now I see a wrestler, a jack superstar now, and I could see him winning probably an AEW World Champion. I don't know if that's going to happen. Do you think that might happen?
I think there's potential, but it would be like 3 to 5 years down the road if he's still wrestling. So possibly not. I think it's this, barring and knock on wood, any injuries or, just massive crap like that, Exodus, a bunch of people leave or something, then yeah, maybe. He's been Ring of Honor World Champion, which is technically recognized as a world title.
Right.
So,
and
there's potential, but I think definitely more if like Japan or something like that for sure before AEW.
I wouldn't mind that him winning, or hell, I don't even mind him winning TNA or New Japan World Champion.
Yeah.
Either one of them.
Yep.
And as far as the finish goes, I know I said I didn't like weak finishes, but I don't mind great matches ending by roll up. If you like, if there's a finisher that's not too impactful, that doesn't look stiff or whatever, then I'm not gonna like it. But roll up, I don't mind, because there's some great matches that I like that ended by roll up. Like, for example, Steamboat and Savage WrestleMania 3 for the Intercontinental Champion, that ended up by a roll up, and I wasn't mad at the finish. I was still entertained by that whole entire match. This match was also really great, and both guys know how to put up a hell of a show. And yeah, so Will Ospreay, he might win I think I have him winning the entire thing.
Yes, more than likely, I believe so too. It's going to come down to Ospreay and Fletcher, and Ospreay's going to get it this time.
All right, yeah.
Okay, we got a Ricochet. Oh, I'm sorry. No, after the Jackknife roll up, we got Darby coming out to help because, of course, the former BCC, now the Death Riders, come out and they're going to all start beating the shit out of Ospreay. But before that can happen, Claudio grabs a chair. I'm sorry, that's what it is. Before he can start beating him down, Darby comes out and kind of chases him off, and we're going to have Darby versus Ospreay next Wednesday in the Continental Classic tournament. That's going to be amazing, and can't wait to see that. Ricochet promo. Look,
he was never good on the mic.
Yeah, and he needs to get better, or they need to give him a manager.
Same with Claudio.
I hate to say that because he is so great in the ring, so smooth. But every time Ricochet promo where he's by himself, I just kind of cringe.
I love that guy's high flying skills.
wrestling skills in general are fantastic. We
Yeah.
get an MJF showing up though back after this, which saves the day because you go from okay Ricochet, hey wait a minute, that's MJF, and just from stepping out the car with only seeing his back and putting on the scarf, you hear the crowd go fucking nuts, huge pop. So you're trying to make MJF like to Mr. FTW's earlier point at the beginning of the show. You're trying to make MJF, oh look, he's this complete asshole again. Adam Cole and all them, what they did to him, supposed to forget that. They're all faces now. Cheer for them and boo MJ. No, not gonna work, not gonna happen. Look, for people that hated him when he was teaming with Adam Cole and they were better than you, Bebe, it was amazing. It was probably the second best thing in wrestling at that time, next to the Bloodline storyline that was going on in the WWE. That part of the Bloodline storyline, I should say, because that's a long storyline. Anyway, just I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring up that pop and say to all the haters, y'all are stupid. Truly, truly stupid. Before I go any further, Mr. FTW, you want to go ahead and play that ad? We can get ready, and then we can go into our rant when we come back, and then finish off the second half of the show.
Yes. And with that being said, Lyle, we want to give a shout out to our newest sponsor real fast.
Our newest sponsor, once again, Kiyoshi Kevin Reinhardt for Goju Ryu Kai Mixed Martial Arts, located in the Fulton, Montgomery County, Gloversville town of Gloversville, upstate New York. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, hours 2 p.m. to about 8 p.m. Juniors classes, kids classes, and adult classes are welcome. Great place to go in with your family, get a good workout in, learn some skills, whether it's self-defense, whether it's kickboxing or jiu-jitsu. Great place to visit. Our newest sponsor, we will have a video for them added to the package soon. But until then, we're going to shout them out. That's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and get it going.
And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and rock out with our two paid sponsors for the night. Our boy D.A. Daryl Austin with Passport Republic and Elizabeth Daily with Daily Cleaning. And if you want to be a paid sponsor and get your stuff shown here 5 to 7 days a week and get it promoted on all platforms, not even just StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, we're on Twitter, X as they call it, Instagram. Like I said, if you want to get promoted to all platforms, just let us know here. And with that being said, I'm going to play our two paid sponsors and we're going to get back to the show.
Hey guys, this is Elizabeth Daly with Daily Cleaning. Me and my mom Tammy have 15 plus years of experience in residential and commercial properties. Our services range from Airbnbs, debt cleanup, move in, move out, or even if you want to set up a personalized schedule for your home. Here with this video is our contact information. Please give us a call or you can message us on Facebook and we will be happy to give you a free estimate. Thank you.
Down M13 through Genesee. I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee.
And once again, thank you to you can give a shout out to all three of our paid sponsors. And once again, if you want to be a paid sponsor here and you still showing on all platforms 5 to 7 business days a week, all you got to do is hit me or one of the guys up and we'll get you situated.
Absolutely. We want to thank everyone for coming back with us and hanging through the commercials and everything else. As Boss Man said, you want to be a paid sponsor, just hit one of us up and we'll figure it out for you. We'll get some ratings up. We're going legit. We're doing big things. We're going to WrestleMania. We got the official blue check on Instagram. We've been here doing this for 2 years steady every day, 6 days a week. I mean, damn. Oh, Landon Black in the house, and he wants his rematch. You know what, brother? I'm going to go ahead and cut this promo on your ass real quick, live, off the dome. You go ahead and you get all your affairs in order, do all your family stuff, kiss your baby, say, hey, daddy's going to work. But that'll be the last day you go to work because you're going to come for the rematch with me, and I took it all easy on you the first time. So go ahead and just relax, do your normal everyday thing that you do, your everyday process, Go ahead and eat your fast food and hug your family. When you come at Madman Murray, you can go ahead and book your retirement. But back to the show after that. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Before we get...
And boom, Mike.
Look, I had to go off the dome. He called me out live. It's just how it is. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't horrible. Before we get into my horrible promo skills, Mr. FTW, we need to address everyone. We talked about this right before the show. We kind of had our own opinions. I will get long-winded and just jumbled up, so I need you to go ahead and direct this little intervention that we're having with everyone watching.
Okay. I've been seeing a lot of things, especially after Monday when AEW All In had that press conference and it was like maybe 30 people there. The numbers and all of this. And a lot of people have been talking about how AEW is this and AEW is that.
I watched it too as well.
I want people to understand this is a company that's 5 years in, that's having amazing talent. And I will say this right now. They're probably doing the best storyline work they have this entire time. When I first started watching AEW, I used to sit there and watch 14 matches. Just 14 wrestling matches. No storylines behind them, no nothing. Just 14 good wrestling matches. Now I'm getting storyline. I'm getting, I'm getting action. I'm getting something put behind something every time. And I can dig that. So I want to say to all the people, if you're not doing what MTG is doing, and this is why I want to say MTG, because what he is doing is watching the product, getting himself back into it, so he can come talk about the product. So if he feels some kind of way about the product, he can now be allowed to say that, because here's the reason. He's justified because he's taking time out of his day to watch the product. A lot of people that are booming down this AEW product is not even taking the time out of their day to watch the product. All I'm saying is, if you're saying, "Oh, well, kid, do you really like these storylines? They're better than the shit we was getting before." So, with that being said, all I'm gonna say is, for some of the people that has more to do than just down AEW 24/7, just give the product a full watch and think about where the product was just a year ago compared to now, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying.
And stop trying to push this AEW versus WWE narrative and war. It's not even what's going on and doesn't need to. We need an alternative to WWE television, which we get through AEW. MTG, before I get more into it, 'cause I got a few things to say. You go ahead real quick. You didn't know this was about to happen, that we had this plan. So probably caught you a little off guard, but from what you gathered from Mr. FTW, is it pretty much exactly where we're coming from? How do you feel about this?
That's also one of the reasons why that what he just said is pretty. I want to give the product a chance again, and not only that, I'm trying to go to All In Texas, which I hope I see you guys there, and it's going to be in Dallas, and I will, and I'm going to TNA next month, and once I'm done paying off that whole credit card bill, I'm putting them AEW tickets on a credit card, baby. Yes, sir. And I've never been to an AEW event, and the best place to go is in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas is a great place. I like going out there.
Arlington.
Well, Arlington, Dallas, outskirts of Dallas, same thing, same difference. So yeah, and I've been Yeah, I've been sick for the past few days. So yeah,
Thank you for being with us. I know Mr. FTW is also under the weather, so they putting in work, people, not even feeling good, and they're showing up to entertain all of y'all.
yes, sir. And I'm even playing the video game right now because I still have hope for that video game as well. And I know you don't like it, and I'm in TG Gaming. I still support that video game. And I also want to mention this. I know you don't like the video game. Tony Khan actually addressed it a few statements about the game, about making another one. He doesn't want to do that. He still wants to focus on this game and add more wrestlers in, which I think they should. I think that's the only way that you can make the game keep going. And I play the game with a homeboy of mine who's not even a wrestling fan. He was a wrestling fan like in the 90s. WCW and WWF, that's what he liked it. And I got him into this, and he's playing it with me most of the time. So yeah, and that's also one of the reasons that my AEW fandom was kind of coming back. The video throughout the video game, throughout the pay-per-view.
Then I appreciate the video game for that, and that's actually an avenue that I didn't really put in my head or think about. That even though I don't particularly like the game, I think it's crap. I'm not a big fan of the arcadey, like super arcade type wrestling games. Right. I'm more simulation guy, so I'm religiously 2K for that because it's the only real simulation wrestling we got that's that level. But it is a good avenue to introduce children and just people that aren't WWE fans or even don't really know about, or are WWE fans but aren't really AEW guys or don't know who we have, to see different aspects, different talents like Kenny Omega and things. So I think that is really cool. I do need to get real quick. I'm going to cut you off, MTG, because I need to get real quick into my rant. I don't want to hold everyone too long because we still have to get through 3 more matches.
Right ahead, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, I have to gather myself real quick. I don't want to insult too many people, have too many people stop following us. All right, listen. For all you sloppy ass, couch riding, non-wrestling knowing anything about motherfuckers that just watch YouTube reviews or watch one show or listen to an actual wrestling person's opinion and think that it's the gospel, get the fuck off social media. No one likes you anyway. That's why you're on social media, so you can think you have an opinion. That's great. Social media is fantastic. Everyone can voice their opinion. Everyone's opinion ain't great. Actually, probably 90% of our opinions might just be bullshit. So I want to start with that, and I'm going to preface with that, and then go into AEW's been around for 5 years. And like I already said, that's a young wrestling company, much younger than TNA, younger than Ring of Honor, made it before they were bought out. Like, it's a young wrestling company with great talent. It's going to have its hiccups and its hitches, and it's going to bounce back. It's going to have its shit storylines. It's going to have its bangers. And in my humble opinion, man, it's had far more bangers and memorable matches in its 5 years than anyone would have thought that it should have had.
Yeah,
they bring in people that no one's heard of, that are great on independent circuits or CMLL, Lucha, other Japan, just places that you wouldn't get that national exposure in America. They have no problem bringing these people in, letting them showcase what they can do. Sometimes even throwing them into storylines like Tohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. Who knows? We would have seen him doing several matches in AEW and putting on a couple fucking really good ones. I never would have thought that. Just one example in general. So, yes, people that tune in for one time, you fair weather AEW fans that wants to this is crap, I'm not going to watch this anymore. I'm going to go eat some more donuts and watch WWE. You go do that. And you can't tell me that WWE doesn't have its moments where it goes through shit storytelling and shit storylines. So, get the fuck off social media. Tired of hearing it, tired of seeing it. And the only other thing, I'm only going to touch on this briefly because I don't like talking about this type of topic in live scenarios like this with just anyone. I've been hearing and seeing and reading too many things about, they're being racist because Swerve Strickland is no longer the champion. Just stop. Just stop. Okay, I actually want, if he doesn't mind, Mr. FTW being an African American male, can you please comment on that really quick? Because of course I'm a white guy, so me saying anything is going to sound like whatever, cultural appropriation, or like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Do you mind real quick? We talked about this earlier. Can you just chime in on this?
Okay, one, I don't even know who the hell ICP is, so you're gonna try that all over again because I don't even know who ICP is. Okay.
Oh, I know what ICP is.
I didn't say anything about ICP.
No, Mr. Win did. Mr. Whiff for the
okay.
win. Yes, Mr. Whiff for the win.
ICP.
That's the insane clown posse and that insane champion shit wrestling. That's like basically glorified backyard that no one cares about. They only show on internet.
And they were in WCW and the WWF.
NWES back in the day, they did a couple of some crappy matches against the oddity, or they were part of the oddities and all that back then. But no one cares. Diamond Land definitely could take anything ICP wants to throw at them, and in triplets. So I'm not worried about that.
And they made crappy rap music.
Yeah. Other than that, but real quick before we do move on, Luther, can you go ahead and comment on that for me, brother?
I mean, I don't really know what other way to put it. I mean, the world just brings up race as the first thing to go about it. I don't think Swerve really had a memorable title run. It was meant for him to do exactly what he did. It's become the first black AEW champion. He wasn't meant to hold that motherfucker 1,000 days like Roman. He wasn't meant to go hold a Gunther run. It was meant for him to be the first at something, and that's just what it was. So no matter how long the run was, it was going to be special regardless.
So you don't think that take any stock or credit into that at all? You think that's just complete bullshit like I do? You don't think there's any reality to that?
Of course not. You talking about a man that sits side by side and sit there and signed the contract right there, you know what I'm saying, with Tony. Like, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with it.
What?
Thank you. All right, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that.
I leave you where your glasses work. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I am. I'm really, really white. That's why the chops come through. You know who's whiter than me though is Sheamus, and that's a multiple-time world champion. So we can move on from there. We got we got Adam Cole, Bay versus Kyle O'Reilly. The winner will go on to face MJF for the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal Diamond Ring at World's End. No surprise. This is going to be Adam Cole, and he's going to fight, MJF. We're going to finally get that culmination. I've said it before. It was a beautiful storyline when they had it going. They took way too long to pick it back up. It has no momentum, no steam, and the fact that they switched from heel to face, who was heel, who was face, mid-fucking rivalry, and we're supposed to just be cool with that, doesn't work for me. As I hinted, Adam Cole does pick up the victory. It wasn't a horrible match. It was one of the weaker matches of the night, but there were some really sweet super kicks delivered that, wee boy, especially one Kyle O'Reilly took that looked like it might have knocked him out there towards the end of the mat. But of course, my biggest issue with this, we just had a match prior to this, ends by jackknife roll-up cover. Adam Cole wins against Kyle O'Reilly by roll-up. Not only now do we have one that didn't really need to happen to end that type of match, we get another one that didn't need to happen at all, that right after two in one night. No, maybe one a night, maybe. Two back-to-back especially? Come on. MTG, how you feel about this?
Great match. That's the only weak finish I'll ever approve of is the roll-up counts. That's the only one I'll ever approve.
Okay. Even after we just had a roll-up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and wait, you know what? I take that back. I don't need all my matches on one show to end by roll-up, either in any other company. And this match was good, and seeing those two guys go at it, because I'm a huge fan of the Undisputed Era in NXT. I was like, no, why are these guys going at it? These guys are supposed to be friends. And then once Kyle O'Reilly walked out of the ring, and I'm like, yep, MJF is in his head. And what might happen whenever Adam Cole and MJF go at it?
Yeah.
either Riley's gonna turn on Adam to go with MJF, or which I think that will happen most likely.
So you think MJF's walking out of that with again the Diamond Ring champions? He's the only Dynamite Diamond Ring champion. He's won it all 4 years in a row. This was the 5th.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if they make him like the Undertaker street version. I would
Diamond
think
Ring, yeah, right. That'd be awesome. I'm definitely for that. I want to say, I'm sorry, I lost train of thought. Go ahead, Mr. FTW. Your feelings on this?
I don't have none because, like JR said, Super Kicks getting out of hand. 1 and 2.
I didn't want it. Yep. Yeah,
I agree with that.
That storyline is just getting way out of whack. Like, I don't know. Not so.
And those super kicks are the reason why I'm not really much of a huge fan of the Young Bucks. I feel like the Young Bucks overuse that too much in their tag matches. That's another subject.
I will give them this. The Young Bucks were doing that before it was the super kick was overutilized. Like, that's always been their thing, a super kick party since they were young, like young Bucks, like for real young Bucks. Like, they've been using that gimmick for a long time. So I will give them that. But I'll also give JR super kicks are way overhand. Personally, as an independent wrestler myself, super kick used to be my finisher. That's how I wanted to finish my matches. I can't now. It's still in my repertoire because I have a pretty one. I throw it decent, and I throw it a little differently than most other people. But I'm just going to end up using it as a setup or a signature or something to set up my finisher. I can't use it as a go home move anymore. It's too fucking many of them. Too many people do it, and I hate that so much. But it is what it is.
I even have a Young Bucks t-shirt of the Bullet Club that says Super Kick Party, and that's a dope ass t-shirt, and I'll still have it. But go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. We're gonna go right into the FTR promo for Fight of the Fallen, which will be on January 1st on HBO. Okay, well, still on TBS, but it'll be streamed simultaneously, simulcast they're calling it, on HBO or Go. Is it Go? Max. I'm sorry, it used to be HBO Go. On Max, get my shit straight real quick. On January 1st, and they challenge the Death Riders, so Moxley and all of them. I think it'll be decent. It's FTR. They are they're another team that's definitely top 10, if not top 5, best ever. That's everywhere they've gone. They've been champions multi times over. Yep. Their tag team wrestling is seamless. I don't really want to get a whole lot on that. That's just straight up promo, letting everybody know. Cool. Stay tuned for January 1st. Tune into Max if you don't already have it. They're having a deal right now. I think it's $2.99 or $3.99 for the first 3 months or something like that. Hell of a deal. Take you into the new year. There's a lot of good stuff you can watch on Max. Yep. I guess that's a free promo for Max I threw out there. They should be paying us too. Okay, so we got the New York Minute with Chris Jericho. I love that they're doing this. Jericho needs some kind of talk show or something that he's always just excelled in those types of scenarios. And I love this New York Minute segment. It was fantastic. Challenging Matt Cardona. I guess he's going to wrestle him tomorrow at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view or something. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But I guess there is a Ring of Honor pay-per-view coming up. He's going to. What is it, brother?
They're going to have a contract signing tomorrow.
That's what it is. Thank you. Contract signed tomorrow for their upcoming Ring of Honor pay-per-view where Matt Cardona will challenge the Nueve, Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree himself, for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I just want to say real quick on this one. I love that Matt Cardona is back on TV at AEW, or at least a nationwide audience. The man, I hated him as Zack Ryder. Woo, 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 you know it. I did not like him at all. But once he became the indie god and the indie deathmatch god and just put on all these bangers and held like 14 titles at once, either tying or possibly even beating Ultimo Dragon record, fantastic. Like, the dude is on fire, has been on fire now for about close to a damn decade in the indie scene. So it's great to see him back getting his props and not having to be some stupid ass woo 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 internet character. MTG, you got anything to say real quick about this one? About Zack Ryder. I'm not Zack Ryder, but Cardona.
I think he's on a handshake deal with both TNA and AEW because he's been appearing on a couple TNA episodes.
Yeah.
And he just challenged Nick Nemeth recently for the world title, and he didn't win that. And I don't think he's being
AJ Francis is currently feuding with Nick Nemeth for the title, I believe, right? Shout out to AJ Francis.
Well, yeah, and that, but I'm saying like before the feud.
Right.
Well, they had a fight on Impact. It wasn't at a pay-per-view, and both Cardona and Nick Nemeth fought. It wasn't at a pay-per-view. It was just on a regular episode of Impact. He lost to Nick Nemeth, and he's just bouncing everywhere. That's why he's not signed to a company right now. He like whatever company calls him up for a handshake deal, he goes. That's one thing I like.
Great.
Yeah, it is great. I like that. And
I love that about wrestling. That needs to be more like wrestling. I wish WWE did like, okay, we'll take an independent guy for 5 shows or 5 matches or something. Boom. Instead of having to do these long-term salary-driven contracts.
Yeah, I wanted WWE to do that, and Matt Cardona would be the first guy to call up. So
it'd be a great grab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
His promos are way lot better. If you saw that Fire promo he cut tonight, bro, that dude was on fire. He was on fire.
What do you think, Mr. FTW? Matt Cardona, we're big fans of him. He's a big avid action figure collector. Has his own podcast and TV or YouTube show and all that stuff.
I hope he wins this one.
Yeah, I think he might. I really do. I think he's taking it. Okay, fantastic. So we got the 4th match of the night, the co-main event of the evening. Ricochet, Brody King. I think it's Gold League, Continental Classic action. This is what surprised me. Not the match. The match was fantastic. Brody beat the shit out of Ricochet, but it wasn't as straight one-sided as the announcers were trying to make it. Ricochet got some good offense in and really showed out what he could do, which like we didn't already know. And Ricochet got the victory, people, which I thought this was going to be. What's up?
Did he go heel during this match?
That's what I'm about to go to. He didn't, but I think he's going to have to because the crowd was booing the shit out of him towards the end of the match when they could tell he was probably about to beat Brody. Like, okay, look, people love Brody King. They do. They at every show he's at, and they have for a long time. When the House of Black breaks up, Brody King needs to have a singles run. I'll say that right fucking now. I'm not saying world championship run. I'm just saying a really good singles run. He's a dominant motherfucker. He's a talented big guy. Moves like a brick shithouse on wheels, man. Just roar. Get the fuck out of his way, man. Holy shit.
He better win that TNT title.
What's up?
He better win that TNT title.
That'd be a great title to put on him. Or even the Continental Classic that we're doing, or the International title, one of those, something. There's so many in AEW. But the fact that Ricochet just got booed, I definitely don't think they expected that. He got a decent cheer once he did get the 1, 2, 3. I'll give him that. It wasn't all boos when he won one. But when the crowd could tell the rally and all this is almost over, lots of boos. That surprised the shit out of me. What do you think, Mr. FTW? You said it yourself. Is he going heel?
I think he's going heel, man. And
you
then think about it. I think so. He doubled up on the finisher. Like, usually you don't double up on the finisher unless you're trying to take,
but
you know what I'm saying?
Brody King, brother. That's Brody King, though.
It's the way Ricochet did it.
Okay.
If you kind of go, he's feeding into the crowd, booing him as he's loading up for that second one.
Okay. Right. But do you think going into the match it was planned? Do you think that was that we're going to end up learning in the future that was he had to just go with it? That was improv.
I don't think so. I think that was more improv.
Oh, you do think it was improv? Okay. MTG, how do you feel?
Great match. Enjoyed it. Brody King looks like a beast, and it looks like he could be a solo guy. And I didn't know that House of Black broke out. I honestly thought they were still.
They haven't yet, but there's been rumors for quite a while that when Malachi Black and Buddy's contracts are up. They're not renewing. And you have not seen Buddy on television for quite some time on AEW TV. You've seen Malachi a little bit, not a lot. So I think that they are probably going to go back to WWE, at least Buddy probably for sure. Dude is insanely jacked right now. His arms are like damn near Scott Steiner size. I shit you not. I'm not even joking. He doesn't have that freakazoid,
Buddy's damn near a bodybuilder walking out to the ring now.
It is ridiculous. I saw some recent pictures of him since he hasn't been, doing anything. When we do see him again, people, wherever it is, you're gonna be like, Buddy?
Mm-hmm.
No, it is not steroids either. Whatever the fuck he is on is straight some bunch of fucking proteins and powders, and he's lifting. He's big, heavy lifting for sure.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture video on YouTube on my PS4.
Recent?
Yeah, this guy is okay. That's massive improvement.
The arms are ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
We get a private party promo. Just again saying, hey, we're introducing, we're gonna keep it fresh. We're private party. We're gonna bring the party, and Lio Rush and Action Andretti and Top Flight come up, and they have a little challenge. I guess we're gonna see probably like a 3-way tag for the AEW tag titles at World's End. If they did announce that, I missed that part, but that's what I got. We're probably gonna see, because this is an AEW pay-per-view. It's going to be 5 hours long. We're going to have 12 matches. But I guarantee you, out of those 12 matches, 10 of them are going to be fucking bangers. So let's go. I'm excited for World's End. I really am. The CEO, Mercedes Moné, backstage promo with Anna Jay. Both looking delicious. I'm sorry, I can't say that. Both looking good, healthy, in shape. I can't. I did have to get up and do some things during this, so I didn't quite catch what was said. I think it wasn't just a handshake or contract signing or something that for the future match coming up. Is that also going to be at World's End?
I think so. Yeah.
Did you catch that, MTG? Am I missing something?
Which part again? I'm sorry.
The Mercedes Moné and Anna Jay backstage interview.
I thought that was Camille Brickhouse.
That was not Camille. That was Anna Jay. Camille's out currently.
Oh, that looked like it. I thought that was Camille, but well, I guess it wasn't. But anyways, both were going back and forth. Well, Mercedes, she's always been terrible on the mic. Anna Jay, I don't think she's beating her for that TBS title. I hope she does, but I don't think she will.
Okay. So you think that Mercedes is going to retain at World's End?
Yes.
Okay. We get to our main. Go ahead, brother.
I feel like they want to wait till somebody bigger to beat her for that belt. And
Anna Jay does deserve it, though, bro. Like, for real.
Anna is just that because she's been there since day one, and that's the women. And that's one of the women that I was investing in, who I thought they were going to push in the future to be a world champion, or hell, even a TBS champion. So, like I said, I hope she wins, but I don't think she will.
Okay. Main event of the evening. So, yes, people, I know we kept you here over an hour. We're almost there, I promise you. Even with the rant, though, we only got you a little longer than an hour. So that's not bad at all. 3 of us, 3 our opinions. You come here, so you watch the Wednesday night show. You get your info, you get your little sizzles, you get your controversy, you get 3 or 4 people, and we still get it done. And we show you, and you get to hear what you need to hear. And that's tune in Wednesday nights. Tune in every night for FTW podcast, but definitely tune in Wednesday. I need to win the ratings. Small cheap plug for myself. All right, so we got my live studio audience just lost their shit real quick. I gotta retain. All right, so we got the main event of the evening. Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa, women main eventing AEW, fantastic, and a really solid match. Oh, I'm about to sneeze, so Forgive me for a second. But so while I get this sneeze fit's about to hit me, Mr. FTW, go ahead and give me your opinion on this match.
It was a very solid match, very good match. But you know what I tell you after what was going to happen after the match. That's all I was worried about.
Don't say it yet, but yes, sir.
Yeah.
No opinions on the outcome of the match, on the winner, and anything like that.
Nah, not really. I kind of figured who was going to win the match.
Which was
Mariah.
Indeed, yes, indeed. And she did beat her clean-ish.
Yep.
I mean, MTG.
Solid match. I knew Mariah was going to retain, and I hope they add her in the AEW game because I'm a fan of the game, and I hope they had her in that game. Yeah, people, I am a fan of the AEW game, so I don't give a damn.
He's one of the few faithful people. I'll give him props for that. He's been with it since pretty much day one. Yeah, and he likes the game. But we do have the surprise for probably most, not surprise for Mr. FTW who called it. I will give him his shout out and his flowers for this. At the end of the match, we get old school Tony Storm music hitting. We get old school Tony Storm looking great, stepping out, and a huge pop for her that puts her in tears. Like literally, people, she had to fight back tears. You could see it, and very emotional. Getting that type of reception for coming back from being Timeless Tony to her old school original-ish gimmick, which I think that's neat. She had her Timeless Tony. It was fantastic. I loved it. I think it was one of her best personas and character runs, but I think she did it perfect timing to go ahead and switch it up. So, Miss FTW, we'll do you first and then get to MTG before we finish up the show. How'd you feel about this? Tony coming back, you did predict it.
Great, excited, and can't wait to see what's next.
Yep.
Any predictions on do you think she's taking the title from Mariah and like on her near future?
I don't think so.
No.
She had the title all last year and then loses to All In. So I don't think they're gonna give her a whole another season with the title. That's not building stars. If you're not building no stars if you keep repeating back to the same superstar. Just because they got a new gimmick, it's still the same. So just because Tony Storm comes back as the old gimmick, putting the title back on her, who does that build? Nobody.
Right.
Great point. That's a great point. MTG.
It was good to see her back in that character again. I never thought they were going to bring that back. And funny thing, that character is also in the game, but not the Timeless Tony. But I hope they let Timeless Tony in the game. I know I'm talking about the game a lot, but let me get into the show. As far as her taking the belt off Mariah, I have to agree with Zay on that one. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this feud between her and Mariah is far from over, and I hope it gets more brutal, like how it was. And what I said, so we'll see how that goes from there. And AEW was actually fun to watch tonight, and I'm happy that I got back into it.
I'm really, really glad to hear that. We had planned on defending it like we did earlier with our little rants and points we needed everyone to hear what we were making, and we were afraid that the show might be shit tonight. Well, look at the show shit tonight. We can't really stick up for it. So please have a good show, and it was. Winter was coming, and winter came and went, and it was good. Next week, I think it's going to be just as solid. AEW does these little mini pay-per-view shows that they have once a year, a block of 4 to 6 or something. I love it. I think it's very refreshing. It's a good way to get exposure, to get people hyped, to say, man, I need to check the show out a little more, and then get them into the pay-per-views. And, WWE and a lot of sports, even boxing, a lot said that pay-per-view is dead. There's no point in doing pay-per-view anymore. AEW's pay-per-view numbers steady show that no, it can be done. It's done fairly well by AEW. And for all, I did want to say this during the y'all AEW haters need to shut up rant. Last year, I believe 2023, was fiscally their best year yet. So y'all can all DX it, and y'all can look that up as public record. So with that being said, it is the end of the show. It is the end of the AEW Dynamite. It is the end of the AEW Dynamite review. Before we get you into midnight into Thursday, we're going to go ahead and cut this off. Before we do, though, MTG, you want to give me your shout-outs or what you got upcoming? What's going on?
This is MTG Gaming. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a lot of video game content and a lot of vlogs. And I will be attending TNA Genesis in Dallas, Texas in January. I'm looking forward to that. And I really want to attend AEW All In Arlington or Dallas, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I hope I see you there, and I hope I see Zay there.
You'll probably see Zay there for sure. I'm not quite certain about me yet, but we'll talk about it. We'll see. I said that's pretty fresh after Mania, and that's going to cost a lot of money to go to Vegas and do what we're doing. So we'll see how it goes.
And what you call so yeah, for those three reasons alone, like how Zay mentioned, you know, with this event coming up in Dallas, the video game, and that's what kind of got me to say, hey, let's give AEW one more chance now. And I'm glad I did that. And I know I said I'll never work Wednesday nights, but I'm here to.
I'm glad you're here today. We had a whole missing some bona fide Thundercat action, so I'm glad you were able to come fill in. There's some big shoes to fill, and you're definitely not as good looking as her, but you did a great job tonight. So I appreciate you showing up, brother, and filling the gap. Again, before we go, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight and putting up with my rant. Everyone for just listening to what we have to say. I hope I entertained you guys. Tune in next Wednesday. Tune in Thursday nights. We got Thursday night. Is it the Lockup Lounge, I believe, and the TNA review with you.
TNA, yeah, TNA.
There you go. On Thursday, Friday, you got the Friday night's Flight, a SmackDown review with your boy Rock Dreams and Mr. FTW, I believe. I'm not quite sure who else is on that show. It kind of fluctuates from time to time, but you should tune in Friday because it'll be SmackDown. I don't know if anything's coming up Saturday we'll be doing a review for, but usually if there's a PLE, we'll be getting that done as well. Over in the next week, we got Monday Night Raw. Then you got your Tuesday night SmackDown review, and then you're back to Wednesday nights with me. So I will see you next week. Thank you again, everyone. Y'all have a great night and stay mad.
Have a good night.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Editing.